Hey, how you doing? Eamon here, Infrared Heating Ireland. I've seen people asking about a question about what way is the best way to use the controller to control your heating. When we do an installation, we talk to the client and we emphasize make sure that they set up a timer with the controller, that they use the system at its most efficient. So if you leave on the heating all the time, 24 hours a day, and your heating is coming on and off, you are going to spend more on electricity than using it on a timer. So we're currently paying, middle of May 2023, we're paying anything from 35 to 40 cent up to 50 cent per kilowatt unit of electricity. So it is important to set up your controller efficiently to ensure that you don't get any bill shock. So when you set up the controller, for example, you tend to have two ways to set up the controller. If you have the panels installed in a bedroom, you have one way, and then in the living room another way. Actually three, and then you have places like hallways and stuff. So every room is individually controlled using the IR Sun regulator. Let's just basically touch on the advantage with using the regulator over a standard controller. With a standard controller, it's turning on and off like a light switch. So you set 20 degrees on the stat, and then as the room increases to 20 degrees, it turns off the heater and the panel gets cold. Then the temperature drops, turns back on the heater, and you have kind of the peaks and hollows throughout the operating time of that panel. With the regulator, you have more of a stable, more a sensitive type of controller that will more regularly talk to the panel, and it's looking at also the temperature in the room, and then it doesn't allow the panel to turn off during that heating period. So what happens is, in simple terms, as the room heats, it then starts to regulate the heat coming from the panel. This is a more efficient way to control the heater. This is the IR Sun regulator. So how to use the regulator from zone to zone. So for example, a bedroom, possibility to turn it on in the morning, maybe if to preheat the room. So if you're on night rate power and you have night rate power until 7 or 8 in the morning, well then utilize that night rate power and preheat all your rooms in the morning when you're paying less for your power. So bedrooms, hallways, etc., turn on the heating in the morning and use the night rate power. If you don't have night rate power, you still turn it on in the morning. But the point is, in a zone or in a room like a bedroom, you don't need to have it on all day. You can turn it on in the morning for a few hours, then let it run during the day. Turn it off during the day, and then turn it on in the evening for a few hours. Bedrooms, you normally set around 18 degrees in the bedroom. And then if you go to your living area, well, look, more than likely you're out all day working. Or if you're not, you're at home all day, well then will have the heating on during the day. But you would tend to turn on the heating in the afternoon time or evening time up until 10 o'clock or whenever. So there is an argument that if you're turning on heating sporadically on and off, versus having it turned down low over a period of time, over the 24 hours, is it going to use the same amount of electricity? And the answer to that is yes. But for example, in the bedroom, why have it on all day when you're not in the room? You would more likely have that on in the living room, the kitchen. So you will find that as you start to use the product, you can then decide when you want to turn on and off the heating. And the good thing about it is that every room is split into a zone. So if you work from home, you have an office, well then you can turn on the heating in that room. If a couple of rooms are north facing, and this time of the year where we have a lot of sun coming into the house, you can turn on more of the heating in the north facing rooms. So every house is different. Every house has a different level of insulation, and will require a different use different amounts of energies. So also what I'd say to you is, with the app you can keep an eye on what you pay for your power. So if you go into settings, additional settings on the controller, you can go into heating power, and whatever wattage that controller is that controller is controlling what heaters is in that room. So for example, you've a 1050 watt in that room, heating power will be 1050. If you have 2050s, well then that's 2100, and that's what you put into the heating power. Then what that will do is that will record your energy. So that's a very good feature on the app, that you can put in what you pay for your power, what the wattage of the heater is, and then you can go in and see how much energy the panels are using. So you can see what each bedroom is using, your living area, your kitchen, your hallway, and then you can manage your energy costs that way as well. To increase, if you set 18 degrees on a stat, and then you increase that stat to 22 degrees, well, that 4 degrees of a jump is going to use a lot more energy. So just be mindful of that as well. 18, 19 degrees is the recommended temperature within a bedroom, and 20 to 22 degrees in a living area or the other part of the house. But the more you increase the temperature in the room, the more energy it's going to use. So if you have it at your base point is at 16 degrees, and then you're boosting it up from 16 degrees, that's another way to do it as well. So there's no right and wrong answer how you should use the heating. But what I would say is that in your bedrooms, couple of hours in the morning, couple of hours in the evening, and then in the living area, you might have a base point at 16 and then boost it up from 4 till 10 o'clock at night. Then you're in the house during the weekend, you can set up the timer differently at the weekend. So there is a lot to cover, but I just wanted to give you a quick synopsis or overview, because it is a question a lot of people ask, and it's just something that I did want to talk about. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. For more information, check out our website, infraredheat.ie. We're also on YouTube, and we have our Facebook presence as well, and social media. So thanks for watching.